نحمد الله المعين.
Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad is the present head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the most dynamic international community within Islam.
I solemnly pledge that I shall always be ready to sacrifice my life, wealth, time, and honor for the sake of my faith, country, and nation. The Ahmadiyya community works purely to please God Almighty. Therefore, if any church or other place of worship stands in need of protection, they will always find us standing shoulder to shoulder with them.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, represented in 200 countries around the world, was established by Allah Almighty through the advent of the promised Messiah, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam.
He claimed to be the expected reformer of the latter days, the one awaited by all major world religions. Founded in 1889, the community has continued to spread throughout the world, flourishing under caliphate, the system of spiritual leadership established after the demise of the holy founder. The current successor of this movement, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, continues the work of the holy founder to revive the spiritual and moral state of mankind. The movement embodies the benevolent message of Islam in its pristine purity, a movement that preaches peace, universal brotherhood, and submission to the will of God.
Since its inception in 1889, the community has made every effort to preach the true message of Islam, a universal message of peace, loyalty, respect, and justice.
You understand at a profound level that promoting religious freedom is an essential building block for peace and stability here and throughout the world. In this, we are allied with His Holiness, a courageous champion of religious freedom and of peace.
Allah ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu.
Ahmadi Muslims have earned the distinction and reputation of being a law-abiding and peaceful community. Within a century, the movement has reached all the corners of the earth and has been recognized and praised by the global community.
Love for all, hatred for none. Those words from your third Khalifa are more important, more crucial, more essential today than they have ever been.
Together, we should fight common enemies such as illiteracy, disease, hunger, and poverty. The Ahmadiyya mission has put structures in place towards the fight against these common enemies in order to enhance the dignity of man.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Organization was founded by the second Khalifa, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmed, which he named Majlis Kudama Ahmadiyyat. His Holiness said, "The success of a nation is dependent upon its youth. If the youth of a nation become true custodians of its traditions, then that nation can survive for centuries upon centuries. However, if the generation of the future are negligent, then a nation can never achieve success, and even the progress it can make can be transformed into failure." The organization has since grown and developed substantially in the United Kingdom and across the globe.
Charity Challenge!
The first charity challenge by MKA Youth was organized in May 1985 under the guidance of the fourth Khalifa. The charity challenge has evolved from just a few members taking part to well over 1,000 participants, making headlines in the national news and raising hundreds of thousands of pounds for various local and national charities. A total of over £1 million has been raised to date since its inception. Last year alone, over £330,000 was raised by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association.
Wherever the movement has been established, it endeavors to exert a constructive influence of Islam through social projects, educational institutes, health services, Islamic publications.
I would like to pay an additional tribute to the work being done by Ahmadis in raising standards in Africa, and particularly in education.
Yes, Britain has welcomed the headquarters of the Ahmadis in this country, but it hasn't become something that's become, as it were, a closed sect in Britain. It's become a community that has sought to reach out to all of us. And that's very important, because the best way to break down the barriers of misunderstanding and prejudice is for that contact to happen, and I thank you for that.
The Ahmadiyya community contribute hugely to interfaith forums, to the richness of our community, and that is the same that's reflected across our nation. But what I would like to pay tribute to you as well this evening is the contribution that you make to wider society and the important charitable causes that you support, not just for your own communities, but for the wider communities. And that is to be acclaimed, and that is to be applauded.
Well, I think in any society where there are incidences of violence, of extremism, of prejudice, of hatred, a message of love, a message of peace, and a message not just of words but of action, also showing what those values mean in practice, doing good works, making commitments to our community both here and in other parts of the world. His Excellency was telling me about the exceptional work of the Ahmadiyya community of creating model villages in Ghana, for instance, where he himself worked many years ago. I think is a very powerful antidote to the forces of hatred, division and violence.
I think I can only describe the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association in this way. If you want to organise a charitable event, call the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association. If you want to learn how to organise the event, call the same organisation.
RNIB seeks to make the world better for blind and partially sighted people through preventing sight loss, through encouraging them to live independently, and through making society more inclusive for blind and partially sighted people.
The Royal British Legion works to support the welfare, interest and memory of all those who are serving and have served in the British Armed Forces.
Save the Children are the world's leading independent children's charity. We're working flat out to basically eradicate child deaths around the world.
Humanity First is an international aid agency. We do a third of our work as disaster response and 2/3 as long-term projects. We're looking to empower and instill local people in the developing world so that they're less reliant on aid in the future.
Now, the Royal Hospital for Neurodisability is a national and a local charity, and it is our mission to enable the people who we care for who suffer from disabilities caused by neurological impairment to lead the best possible quality of life.
Leukemia Lymphoma Research, our aim as a charity is to beat blood cancers. There's so many blood cancers out there, lots of people don't know, but there's over 100 blood cancers out there. So Leukemia Lymphoma Research, our job as a charity is to eradicate all blood cancers.
Barnardo's is the largest children's charity in the country, supporting over 100,000 children, young people and families.
We are a 24-hour free helpline for children and young people.
Great Ormond Street Hospital is a world-class children's hospital.
Supporting Macmillan is a way of people being able to do something practical to help anybody who's affected by cancer. Our organisation is accessible across the board through our helpline, through our website and also through the cancer professionals. and we really appreciate all the help and support that AMYA is giving us.
Without voluntary contribution from those in the community, Barnardo's would not be able to survive. And so it's with a grateful heart that I say thank you to everyone at Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association for doing so much last year in the 10K challenge, for raising £11,000. Without that voluntary income, there are so many other streams that wouldn't have come in, and so many pieces of work that wouldn't have happened to support hundreds of children, young people and families.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association has helped leukemia and lymphoma research now for over 10 years, and they raised nearly £50,000 hopefully this year, and that is vital for our life-saving research that we do each year.
We are hugely grateful to AMYA for over many years for helping us not just with fundraising in many countries of the world, but also in providing volunteers with expertise, let's say in IT, education, healthcare, engineering, going out in the field as volunteers and working for us. It's been tremendous.
The next charity challenge will be held in the City of London at Hyde Park. Some of this year's charities that will be sponsored include the British Heart Foundation, Barnardo's, NSPCC, Humanity First, Save the Children, and Click Sargent for Children with Cancer.